Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is my preeminent privilege to rise today to pay tribute to a great and noble American, a dear friend, a member of this House until his transition. Mr. Speaker, of course, I speak of none other than the Honorable John Lewis. I want to recognize and say words about him today because he took to heart the words of Gandhi, that we should be the change that we seek. He was the sermon that he preached. He did what he said he would do and inspired others to do likewise. It is said that a great person will always rise to the occasion, but it is also said that the greater person makes the occasion. Well, when it came to the Edmund Pettus Bridge, not only did he rise to the occasion by marching across that bridge, he made the occasion by helping to organize the march that left Brown Chapel and went to that bridge. Knowing that they were facing the constabulary with clubs, they marched on. Knowing that they were marching into brutality, they marched on. He was a person who understood that the cause of justice will sometimes require some harm to be suffered. Yet he marched on. And for this reason, the world had an opportunity to see the horrors of invidious discrimination. And in so seeing, a president, Lyndon Johnson, was put in a position such that he could pass the Voting Rights Act. And after the passage of that act, many of us who are in Congress today are here because he marched across that bridge. So I would say to you, Mr. Speaker, I would say to you, because of his courage, because he walked the talk, because he was there for us at the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and because the Voting Rights Act was passed as a result thereof, it seems to me that it would be proper, appropriate, and befitting of this body and all of Congress to now pass the reformation of the Voting Rights Act so that we can show the world that voting is still important to all people in this country. The Honorable John Lewis was there on Bloody Sunday. Why not have the irony of history allow him to be the spark that will ignite the passage of this reformation of the Voting Rights Act in the Congress of the United States of America? And finally this, in my conversations with him, some of them in jail, he got me in good trouble. We went to jail in 2006, protesting at the Sudanese embassy. Went to jail in 2013, protesting out in the streets of Washington, D.C. for immigration reform. Yes, it was good trouble, and I'm proud to say I was there in good trouble. But one of the things that we discussed was Jimmy Lee Johnson. We ought not forget Jimmy Lee Jackson. Jimmy Lee Jackson was the person who had just lost his life prior to marching across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. In fact, there are many who would contend that he was the spark that ignited much of that movement. So let us move forward together, recognizing the Honorable John Lewis, but let us not forget C.T. Vivens. Let us not forget Hosea Williams. Let us not forget the many nameless, faceless persons who were there with him on Bloody Sunday. Let us do this. Let us pass the Voting Rights Act, the reformation thereof, in his honor. I yield back the balance of my time.